Lashana Tova. My name is Kim Carnot, and I have the honor of serving as president of Beth Israel. Let me begin by letting you know that my remarks, announcement, and Torah chanting were all recorded in advance of High Holidays. I have no idea if I'm wearing the correct outfit to align with the broadcast of the correct service. If not, please just accept that, like the Academy Awards, we are deploying costume changes to keep you engaged. You may know that I'm the Executive Director of Facility Services at San Diego State University. In addition to being responsible for all state facilities and infrastructure, I'm also heavily involved in SDSU's response to emergencies, both in my real job and also as the planning section chief when the Campus Emergency Operations Center is activated. My role is essentially to define the emergency and develop the plans for how we will move through the emergency to safety on the other side. I also serve in an advisory role to our senior leadership and make recommendations for policy decisions. I share this with you for two reasons. First, to let you know that serving as president is not a full-time job, nor is it intended to be. The Beth Israel president, and by extension our board, do not run the operations or spiritual sides of the synagogue. We leave that to Executive Director Leslie Mills and her incredible team, and Senior Rabbi Jason Navarez and his team of exceptional spiritual leaders. The president and the board, a cadre of amazingly dedicated volunteers, are responsible for high-level strategy and sustainability of Beth Israel. We are ambassadors, and we provide feedback to the other two legs of the stool. Together, the senior rabbi, executive director, and president, the three-legged stool, balance and support each other and the Beth Israel community as we move forward together. Second, to let you know that I'm intimately involved in SDSU's response to COVID-19. Our Emergency Operations Center was activated on February 26th. You likely have been following along in the news to understand how we responded and continue to respond to this emergency. What you may not have seen is we moved forward in a planful manner, relying on best-known information at the time and planning for different scenarios as we developed response protocols and tried to keep our community informed. Our plan allows us to pivot as new information is learned and impacts projected and mitigated. The information changes regularly, so we are continuously analyzing and making decisions on paths forward. Similarly, Beth Israel, in the past year, has focused on planning to flex and shift to meet the needs of our dynamic community. We have not rushed through our decision-making processes, and each new element has presented an opportunity to continuously improve. Our talented staff rise to the occasion and exceed expectations. Over 340 of you participated in our virtual first night Passover Seder. 250 attended our annual meeting. 85 new members have been welcomed to our Beth Israel family. We made and donated face shields and masks. We delivered caring community mish bags and college crew care packages. 160 people engaged in conversations on hate and racism with Eric Ward and Tammy Gills in a forum facilitated by Rabbi Navarez. 165 of you heard from award-winning author Mara Gad, a biracial Jewish woman who addressed how racial equality and justice in North America is, in fact, a critical issue for the Jewish community. We continue to support community projects like the Hunger Project and the JFS Hand Up Youth Pantry. Under Kathy Goldberg's leadership, and with talented staff adapting, preschool reopened on June 15th with thoughtfully developed action plans, protocols, and training that exceeded CDC and San Diego County Health Department guidance and have protected the health and safety of our youngest members, their families, and our fantastic staff. We are adding a kindergarten class this year for the first time ever to meet community demand. Under Rose Orlovich's leadership, welcome Rose, we are so glad to have you here. and best-in-class educators, religious school started on September 13th, using a hybrid model of virtual and on-campus participatory educational and friendship-making opportunities. Our religious school continues to set a high bar for excellence compared to our peers. And we will have a delegation at the annual Walk Against Hate in October. The great philosopher Ferris Bueller teaches us life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. We can be proud of Beth Israel for its clergy team, now complete with Senior Rabbi Navarez. We can celebrate how we transitioned to the virtual space and increased our programmatic, educational, and worship offerings. We can recognize that through all of this, we have held strongly to our core values and conservative fiscal policies. But that is merely a snapshot of a moment in time. It is not movement. I keep hearing about the new normal. There is nothing normal about the times we find ourselves in. As much as I enjoyed Ferris Bueller's Day Off back in the 80s, in these times, we need to be moving forward with the fervor and frantic pace of Hamilton writing like it's going out of style, and the reminder that history has its eyes on you. We often speak of standing with someone or some group. Instead of standing, what if we moved with them? Because if we are moving forward together, that matters. It means we are making progress and achieving change. Think about what is going on right now. People unwilling to wear masks to keep each other safe, calling the cops on citizens because of the color of their skin, reinforcement that some people belong here and others do not. Humanitarianism is being beaten down by greed and sheer desire to win. Our government is pepper spraying and firing rubber bullets at peaceful protesters. White supremacist and anti-Semitic rhetoric have moved from the extreme to the mainstream. As a parent of two amazing kids, I struggle to find the words to explain what is going on in our nation right now. We teach our children tolerance, and the chief executive of our country encourages hate. We must move past this moment in our history to safety on the other side. Make no mistake about it. With elections right around the corner, our nation is in a state of emergency. The Torah teaches us to accept others without prejudice and to work with others to achieve social justice. It calls us to action. Rabbi Navarez, in his Erev Rosh Hashanah sermon, asked us how we can strive to be more human and how we can reframe this year. This high holiday season, my ask of you is to contemplate how you can be in motion. Move like your life and that of your loved ones depends on it, because it does. Mobilize to do something about how bad things have gotten. Vote out of office anyone who is not part of the solution. Let's move forward together. Lashana Tova.